Treasure is brought to you by EB Games. We take games seriously.
Hey, I've got an interesting buried treasure for you guys today. This one's called Star Trek Deep Space Nine: The Fallen. It's developed by the company known as The Collective. They're the guys that did the Buffy the Vampire Slayer game and the brand new Indiana Jones game, Emperor's Tomb. And this one really shows off where the company was headed. It's a third-person action game, but it also has the first-person shooter type elements in it. There's lots of weapons to collect. There's bladed weapons and all kinds of projectile type weapons. You can play as Worf, Cisco, or Kira in the game, and there's a little bit of a branching type of mission thing going on at the beginning, but eventually all of the missions do become the same kind of path. Graphics are really good. They use the Unreal Tournament engine to build this game, and it has really nice looking environments, some great looking lighting. There are lots of jumping puzzles in the game, but the controls are solid. Voices from the actors are in the game, and overall it's a very fun game that you can pick up for your PC and even your Mac. I've got the game on the Mac and it plays wonderfully. It still stands up, even with today's technology. It still looks really good. Check it out. It's called Star Trek Deep Space Nine: The Fallen. Today in Versus, we're taking a look at two mascot-style games that may have been overlooked. We've got Metal Arm's Glitch in the System from Vivendi Universal for the Xbox, PlayStation 2, and GameCube, and we've got Kaya Dark Lineage from Atari for the PlayStation 2. What do you think of the graphics in these two games?
No contest. Metal Arms is by far the superior, graphically pleasing game in every aspect. The characters are really well done. The environments, you go into these caves and all these beautiful worlds, multiplayer, everything's amazing. Kaya, I mean, I'm just going to come out and say it. The graphics are piss poor. I know you're going to say it. I'm just going to say they're stylized.
They're not piss poor. Hardly at all.
Suck.
No way, man.
They're about 4 years too old.
I would agree that Metal Arms has a much superior look. I mean, I love the visuals. I love my robots. But I do think that Kaya's got a cool, distinctive look. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, it's called bad.
I'm not a big fan of the actual main character, but I like the environments. I like the wind effects that it creates throughout the game.
But don't you think that the texture mapping on the ground, I mean, they look like PlayStation 1.
No, hardly.
Oh,
no way.
come on.
It's probably a little bit closer to the look of the original Jak and Daxter. It's scaled back on the texturing and stuff like that. But the worlds are massive. There's lots of stuff going on.
I'm not saying the worlds aren't big. I'm just saying the actual graphics and textures themselves.
I like the animations. I like the wolfen creatures that you're out trying to attack. I like the boomerang. I like that she's riding little creatures and she's hoverboarding. I'm going to coin a phrase. It's very stylized.
It is.
And it works for me.
That's all right.
I like the graphics in both games, but definitely Metal Arms with the shiny robots and the huge explosions. Now, what about the gameplay of these two games?
Well, you know, the whole character, the Kaya character, and the storyline is just blah. There is a lot of things to do and a lot of cool things that she can do.
That's what I liked about this game, was the variety of stuff that you can do. The control, I thought, was very tight all the way through in Kaya.
Control's all right. But now Metal Arms is more of a game. It's more of a, I don't want to call it a button masher, but it's more of a shooting style.
It's definitely a shooter.
Overall, I think I like the gameplay a little better in Metal Arms.
I like the gameplay of Metal Arms as well. It was much more aggressive, much more fun. We had a blast playing multiplayer. Now let's talk about the audio for both of these games.
No contest.
Metal Arms wins again?
Metal Arms, I mean, the sound effects are great.
Yep.
I really enjoyed the music. The voice acting is great, as well as like some of the weird robotic effects they put on some of the voices.
Hey, Crunk, were you able to repair our mystery box?
Of course I fixed him. It was a huge pain in the waistband, because he's some kind of custom jobby, but nothing I couldn't handle.
Now on Kaya's side, the music was
okay.
Less than stellar.
The voiceover, the worst
Very bad.
I've ever heard
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
on one of these PlayStation 2 massive exploration type games like this.
Okay.
Because they spent a ton of money and time building these huge worlds to explore, and then they have like the stupidest sounding bird. It's like one guy. It sounds like a programmer.
So
You look confused. I would be too if I were you. Luckily, I'm not you. I'm me. Tough crowd. I'll I'll say.
What's your take on both of these games?
I appreciate the huge world that Kaya is. It just didn't do it for me graphically. I'm more of a twitch shooter kind of game, and Metal Arms delivered a little bit more on that. So
Right.
I'm going to go with Metal Arms.
I like them both. They're different styles of games. I mean, there's some parallels with the collection and some of the stuff that you do, but I agree with you. Metal Arms, much more action, and the multiplayer is a blast.
I'm giving Metal Arms an 8.
8.5 from me. What about Kaya Dark Lineage?
Kaya gets the 7.
I'm going to give Kaya an 8.
Well, it looks like Metal Arms seems to be our clear winner.
Absolutely. Make sure you take a look for that one.
Today on the show, we took a look at Looney Tunes Back in Action for the PlayStation 2, but it's also available for the GameCube. There are cool characters in this game, and they've got funny one-liners, but there's some big camera and control problems in this one. On the GameCube, we looked at Kirby Air Ride from Nintendo. I love the fact that there were 3 different racing modes in this game. Tommy, well, he's got a hate-on for Kirby. For the Xbox, but also available for the GameCube and PlayStation 2, we looked at Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. We love the 2 different characters and the great-looking environments in this game, but what happened to the voiceovers? In Versus, we looked at Metal Arms Glitch in the System for the Xbox, PlayStation 2, and GameCube. This is a very slick robot action game with cool visuals and fun multiplayer. We stacked it up against Kaya the Dark Lineage, which is a huge action-adventure with a very stylized look. Now, we thought Kaya was a good game, but Metal Arms is better. In hardware, we reviewed the Nyko Wireless Net Extender. This is a cool, lower-cost solution for a wireless net connection. On the Game Boy Advance, Tommy reviewed SSX3. And it was a pretty good interpretation of the console games, but it was just way too slow.
Well, thanks for watching our special DVD Extras episode. We hope you take this one, because if you watch it again, you can actually hear the Spanish language track. See?
And don't forget, how about widescreen mode?
Right, we've got the extra special, more expensive widescreen mode as well.
Very nice.
Can't wait for the extra director's cut edition where we're going to make some serious bank. So what are you going to give Looney Tunes Back in Action?
What are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, what are you going to give it?
I don't know yet.
So what are you going to give Looney Tunes Back in Action?
Wait, I'm still thinking. Hold on.
All right.
It's either a 7 or a 7.5.